Guy. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Just loosening up for a couple minutes here. A couple more seconds. There you go. Okay. Happy Monday to wherever you are. It's morning. I'm doing fine. It's a little cold. The temperature had a big change in it. Anyway, hold on a second. There you go. I should get out of here. 1 second, gentlemen. There you go. Okay. All right. Dave, how you doing, Dave? What I want to do is prepare everybody for tonight's lesson on my other channel, Drum Set Application. I wanted to work on some rudiments today. I want to work on a single paradiddle, double paradiddle, paradiddle diddles, triple paradiddle, all that good stuff. And I'm going to take the paradiddle diddle first. Are we all familiar with the paradiddle diddle? Dave and Guy and whoever else is here? We know the sticking on that? Now, the way I originally teach this, or first I teach it as the sticking pattern, I teach it in a 6-8 formation. Okay. I take it in a 6-8 formation first. And I'm just emphatic about doing the levels because that's what you need to practice. Now, the sticking in 6-8, I'm counting number 1 first off as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sticks. Now, I refer to this as a right hand paradiddle diddle, and then there's a left hand paradiddle diddle, and there's the alternating paradiddle diddle. Now, I have a few concepts on this, but the first guy I'm going to show you is very basic. I'm going to put an accent on the first stroke. The sticking is right, left, right, right, left, left. Now this is step 1 of we eventually going to orchestrate this onto the drum set as a linear concept and a funk pattern. But before we can go there, you have to understand these steps first. Now we're taking the paradiddle diddle and we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I'm starting like this. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just played right, left, left, left. But notice there was 2 sounds in here. There was 1 accent and the non-accent. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to like doing that for 3 or 4 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, tap, tap, up, tap, tap. Now notice how the sticks are sounding. Everything sounds consistent. The accent is being hit consistently with the same sound, and the non-accents, regardless if it's a downstroke, an upstroke or a tap, sounds the same. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a right hand paradiddle diddle. And I'll take it to the left side. Alright, and I have left, right, left, left, right, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we covered the right hand paradiddle diddle and the left hand paradiddle diddle. Now, if you notice that the upstroke was consistent to get in position to hit the accent on the first stroke of the paradiddle diddle. Now, we're going to do the alternating paradiddle diddle. When I say alternating, the first one's going to start with the right, the next one's going to be the left. So I'm going to do the one with the right, then one with the left. However, the motion is going to change now. The levels are going to be in a different place because I need to get in position to attack the accent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That last stroke has to come up if I'm going to start with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing with the right now. I can start with the right. So you have right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, left, right, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, that's the right hand paradiddle diddle, the left hand paradiddle diddle, and the alternating paradiddle diddle in 6/8. Do we have any questions on that, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen? If you're in here and you should come up and you know, get yourself recognized there, say hello inside of the chat, because it's telling me there's 6, 7 people in here, and there's only 2 people. No questions. Okay, Mr. Guy. How about you, David? You are coming to the lesson this evening, correct? Because we're going to orchestrate this whole thing. Now, I originally teach that in 6/8 in the beginning. Hello, Kelly. How are you? You have no questions, okay? You're not coming to the lesson tonight, Dave? What I wanted to do is orchestrate your, I don't know, N-O, yes. Are you coming to the lesson tonight, David? 8:30 is the lesson. The site's open for everybody to come to. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Now, that's 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the next formation I want to do, you can do triplets. And I usually do it, or you could do, let's do 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And it's actually the same counting system I use for sextuplets. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and. So on and so forth. Then the left hand, 1 and 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So that's just a different formation. And we could do the alternating 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now I have a formula that I use from the stick control book. I'm making right equal a right hand paradiddle diddle, and I use the left, a reference off the stick control book. When I see a left, it's the left side. So if I did, say, starting with line 3, right, right, left, left sequence, that's the sticking. That's going to tell me 2 right hand paradiddle diddles, 2 left hand paradiddle diddles. So on and so forth. So let me do that again. 1 and 2, 3. Now the left, 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 to the right. Okay, we understand that, gentlemen? So now we took the 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the sextuplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 in, a grouping of 6. The next formation is triplets, 1 and 2 and 3, 1. The sticking don't change, the thought process does. Now here's the one we're going to be working with tonight. We're going to orchestrate this on the drum set. We're actually going to do all of them, but mainly how to think of the paradiddle diddle in 16th notes, a straight line. Okay? We're going to do some linear concepts. We're going to orchestrate into a linear concept and into a development of a funk pattern. So now I'm going to count, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1 and the 2 and the 3 and, I'm going to do a straight line of paradiddle diddles in 16th note formation. So I'm going to count 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So we have 1 E and watch, 1 E and 3 E and now when I get to 4, in order to keep it going with my right hand, 4 E and I'm just adding on the 4 singles. So I have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now if you want to switch that, when you get to 4 E and the, you could actually use all the sticking patterns from stick control book. But if you want to, I did it to the right side. Watch. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. Now I could do single strokes or double strokes, but if you want to go to the right, to the left side, starting that one with the left, I would do a single paradiddle. Again now, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a paradiddle takes me to the right side. You understand that, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen and little kids and whoever you might be. So we got Kelly, we got Guy, we got Dave. Who else? Anyone else in here? Any questions? You have a question, Guy? We're going to take that, we're going to orchestrate that. The one, if you're going to come tonight, this is the thought I want you to really, if you did this for about a half hour to an hour, just this, and to think about it, not about speed, but about a consistent feel. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. If you keep doing that over and over again, you're going to have, it's going to be good. You have any questions? Guy, Kelly, I guess there's a delay, I'm freezing there. I guess there's a delay. Kelly, do you have any problems, any questions? Dave, Kelly, Guy, and the boogeyman. Okay, so that'll wind up the paradiddle diddle. We're going to do that tonight on the drum set. Does everybody here have my website address? Okay, that's my website where we do the drum set applications in the evening. That's usually a paid-for site, but I'm keeping it open for a little while so I can get some traffic going on. What's do now? Do now. Hello? What do you mean do now? You mean go on my other site now? I can't do that. I have to do that in the evening. Okay, paradiddle diddle. Do it slow. The one you want to work on this afternoon over and over again to get familiar with the feel and the count. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, single strokes. 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, there you go. So you're welcome to come. It's Monday night at 8:30, Tuesday night at 8 p.m., and Wednesday at 8 p.m. We have a lot of fun, a lot of talking, a lot of questions, and you know, the streaming has been okay because the weather's changing, the wind is picking up, and the streaming company's actually coming from California. But we'll be okay. Any questions on the paradiddle diddle? And we're not going to orchestrate it, like I said. What we're going to do is do that this evening. Now, I want to put something together this week. I've been doing, you know, a lot of stick control book, and I want to do some reading. And does everybody here have the syncopation book? That means Guy and Dave and Kelly. Do we all have the syncopation book? That's the Ted Reed Syncopation book. Now, besides that, what I want to spend the rest of the week on is some of the rudiments. Dave, you have it. Okay. Guy, do you have it? And what do you mean you're afraid? All right, all right. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to do a PDF on maybe 16 bars, 12 bars rather. No, 18 bars maybe 24, I'm not sure. What I'll do, he's afraid he doesn't have it. He's being very polite, Dave. Okay? I'm going to write something up for tomorrow's lesson here. Everybody here has my email. Email me and I'll send you the PDF on what I'm going to do. You have my email, guy? All right, let me put it in there just for the heck of it. All right, that's my email. Email me. I'll send you the PDF, and I also, if you like, tell me that you want me to put you on my mailing list. Okay, Guy and Kelly, Dave, you're on my mailing list already. All you need to do is go into the student section and get the PDF. You're welcome, Guy. Guy, are we friends on Facebook? I know Kelly is. Unfortunately, I have Dave as a friend. Dave and I go back a very long time. He used to live in New Jersey and he used to come to my studio in New Jersey. And then he moved to Florida. And I haven't heard from him until I opened the site up a couple years ago. Okay, like I'm saying, I want to do some reading. I'll even do some breakdowns of the rudiments. The flam accent, the Swiss Army triplet, 4-stroke rough, 5-stroke rough, 5-stroke roll. I'll do those things for you, okay? All right, well, why don't you do this, Guy? If we're friends on Facebook, why don't you, in addition to emailing me, send me some sort of notification. Okay, well, you have to understand, I have 2 accounts, okay? And on both accounts, I believe I have 5,000 friends on both accounts. So it's actually you're following me, and if I didn't accept your request, I apologize. You know, I'm the administrator in 12 different groups that I created, and it's just getting too insane. I have one group that has over 40,000 members, and the other group has close to 30,000. The other ones are pretty slow, you know, 10,000, 12,000. So it's a lot of work for me keeping up with. But email me, okay? Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do the flam. Now, do you understand? We all understand how to do the flam. And what's the purpose of a flam? Well, a flam is to make the notes sound fatter. If I hit a note here like this, it's one sound. Like so. If I hit the flam, and this is called a principal note or a primary note. All right? I sometimes refer to it as a king note. It's the same thing. The primary note. Okay? Now I play a flam. It's a grace note, so close to that primary note that it makes the sound fatter. That's a flam without a flam. Flam. It almost sounds like, no, I'm not popular, I'm just serious about the drums. Okay? Popular, I wish I was. Anyway, I do what I do, that's all. Okay, the primary note, that's a free stroke flam. I throw the stick down, this stroke hits before the primary. That's either a right hand flam or a free stroke flam. Now, I have the downstroke flam. I keep my sticks down. So I have the right hand flam or the free stroke flam or the downstroke flam. Now I reverse that, do the same thing with the left side. I have a left hand flam or a downstroke flam. The next stroke, the next flam is an alternating flam. Alternate. Now if you're not familiar with flams, you might get some flat sounds, like both sticks hitting at the same time. You don't want to really do that. That's not a flam. That sounds terrible, not musical. So you have the alternating flam, the right hand flam, left hand flam, and down. You want me to go over that just a little bit? Because with that, I've come up with an exercise with the stick control book, for flams. I come up with a lot of things from stick control book. The flam, I reference off the stick control book, and I say R is equal to a right hand flam, L is equal to a left hand flam. Now this is going to have the free stroke flam and the alternating flam. So if I take line 3, that's right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, that's telling me I want 2 right hand flams, 2 left hand flams. But you need to understand the downstroke flam, the free stroke flam, and the alternating flam. And with this particular exercise, we're going to be working with the alternating flam and the free stroke flam. So if I have 2 rights and then 2 lefts, this is what I have. Right, I have to alternate that to get in position. Free stroke, alternate. So I have right hand free stroke, alternate. Free stroke, alternate. Right, right, left, left. Right, right, left, left. Now, who knows what you can do with that and where you're going to use it? You have to be creative. It's just a journey into understanding and practicing alternating flams and free stroke flams. If I did the paradiddle, that's the right, left, right, right, left, left sticking, that would be 1 and 2 and left, right, left, left. Excuse me, gentlemen. Hello. Ay, booyah, telemarketing, gentlemen. I hate them. Sorry about that. Okay. So we have any questions about the flam? Right, left, right, right. Left, right, left, left. Any questions on that, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, rather? I don't know, the solar panels. I don't want no solar panels. Hate that shit. All day long. I'm in the middle of practicing. I have two children in school, and I don't know whether that's going to be them. All right, no questions. Okay, so now that takes care of. That's a good exercise to get familiar with the free stroke or the alternating. Now let's go to the downstroke flam. Where do we use a downstroke flam? Okay, let's start with a flam tap. That's exactly what it is. It's an alternating flam, tap. Alternating flam, tap. I'd rather, sorry, let me go to the flam paradiddle. I'm taking a single paradiddle, like so, and I'm going to put a flam in front of it. This is where the downstroke flam, down, up, tap, tap, down. Okay, then we have the Swiss Army triplet. Now, everybody that first learns the Swiss Army triplet and the flam accent, they get a little confused here. The sticking for the Swiss Army triplet is in triplet formation, obviously, and I'm counting it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I hit the first one as a downstroke flam, the next stroke is a right upstroke, and then a tap, right, right, left, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I take that into that triplet formation. That's eighth note triplet, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, or take it uptown. I'm thinking 16th note triplets as 1 and. So if you're playing a Swiss Army triplet uptown or up tempo, and somebody says your open roll sucks, well then you're smoking. Sounds like a sloppy double. So that's the Swiss Army triplet. Right-handed. You can do it left-handed. And we go through the stick control book with the same sort of exercises. Now, this flam accent is just an eighth note triplet. No, it can't be considered a triplet because now that's not what it is. A Swiss Army triplet, Dave. All that would be is a triplet with 2 lefts. All right, so that, it's just, could this be a paradiddle? It's a inverted paradiddle. So what is that, all that is you're playing triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a Swiss Army triplet, it's this. Okay, the flam paradiddle or flamadiddle, whatever you want to call it. It's a right-hand paradiddle, sticking, right-left alternating paradiddle. If I put the accent on it, now all I'm doing is putting a flam in front of it. And I wasn't going to go there. I was going to go with the flam accent. The flam accent is a triplet, 2 and with a flam in front of it. I'm putting an accent on the first stroke. I put the flam. Now I have a flam accent. The flam accent and the Swiss Army triplet. What I'm going to be doing this week, excuse me 1 second. I'm going to be working from a few solos. The Modern Rudimental Swing Solos by Charlie Wilcoxon. This is the latest edition. If you have it, fine. If you don't, I'm going to write something up and I'm going to break everything down. There's one solo that has become very classic, and that's Rolling in Rhythm. That was dedicated to Joe Morello. I will write a few measures of that down and break it down. And then the All-American Drummer. Now, when somebody says rudimental, everybody, oh man, I don't want to play rudiments. Well, you're playing rudiments, singles and doubles all the time. And we talked about this last week. When you're doing anything other than a single or double, it's a combination of it, like a paradiddle. is right, left, right, left, left, left. That's a combination of singles and doubles, and that's a hybrid. That's your first hybrid rudiment you come to. So anyway, 150 rudimental solos. You know, I've gone through this book many, many moons ago, and I stayed with the book. It's a good book. We all know who Philly Joe Jones is, and Philly Joe Jones loved that book. And as a matter of fact, I had purchased what you call a fake book, and it's a transcription of all of Philly Joe Jones's drum solos, and it's all influenced by that book. He swings that book, man. He really does. So we're gonna take journeys into that. Don't let the word rudimental. You're not playing marches, you know. We're not doing that. But there's nothing wrong with that, because that's great for your hands. But we could take that, swing it, and orchestrate it on the drum set, which I intend to do in the evenings. So I hope to see everybody there who's here tonight. That paradiddle diddle, the thought process of 16th notes, and we're going to do that as a linear concept. We'll orchestrate it, and we're going to do that as a funk development. Okay? So now there's 5 people, and 3 people are saying hello. Okay, any questions on some of the flam rudiments that we went over? Now, you know, this is not field drumming, and this is not drum corps. All right, the guys in drum corps, man, have some fantastic chops. And 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You go on the page, you look on the menu, it says live lessons. Stay there, you know, we might not start exactly at 8:30, but you should see a picture of the drum set on the screen and me talking in the chat. There's a chat as well. Okay? Any questions on any of the rudiments that we have done today? Now tomorrow we're going to do some reading from the syncopation book. And if you don't have it, I'll just, it's not, first off, Guy, what is your reading skills? What level of reading skills would you consider yourself at? I mean, nobody's putting a chart in front of you to say, here, sight read it. But as far as 8th notes, 16ths, triplets, do you know how to read those things and count them? Because I've come up with a nice way to develop, you know, reading skills as far as developing coordination as well. You know, when you first start studying with somebody, if they're going to take you from a book like the back of the Buddy Rich book, yeah, hello, Dave. You're a master reader, okay. You're a master, whatever. Dave Franikowski is a good guy, man. Him and I have been friends for a very long, long time. I don't want to spread the word with that, though, but that's okay. Well, the visual learning, see, it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're a weekend drummer, a basement boomer, or a garage star, whatever it might be, you're playing drums because you love the instrument. And, you know, you're not playing professionally, that's all you do. But, you know, I've talked to many students about cover tunes. The cover tunes, it's a good journey. It takes ability and a talent. But after you learn the cover tune, and some people learn it note by note, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But it's a good journey. You know, you're learning from somebody who's playing the tune. But I don't really agree with it, because, you know, you could have 5 drummers learn the same cover tune and sit down and play it, and it would be very close with the parameters, but it'd be a little bit different. but it's not actually telling you why and when and where what you did. So you're learning on this particular platform the technique on one surface. You're learning the art of drumming. All drummers, all my students are very creative, and they have their own identity and their own voices. So that's what I teach. There's nothing wrong with looking at somebody and watching that particular person do something and you copying him. But that's just copying. That's not understanding what you're doing, why you're doing it. And it's not that it's shallow, but it's very restrictive because you don't know what you're doing to go further for what you're doing. You agree with that, Mr. Guy? Okay. I'm going to email me, gentlemen. My email's in here. I will send the sheet tomorrow. We're going to do some reading. And we'll do it on one surface, a few different ways. And we'll do it in the evening as a drum set application. Who's this? Sound. Hey, am I listening? Give. What do you mean? What does that mean? Well, jamming is where that. There's nothing wrong with playing covers. You know, I consider that mainstream playing. Well, that's because we're all on the same journey. You know, the level of musicianship. We're all on the same journey, and we want to learn as much as we possibly can and be creative. Sony, what are you talking about here? Hey, am I listening? Give. What does that mean? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Elaborate, please. Sony, you coming to my lesson tonight at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. My other site, my drum set site. Sony, it's Sunny. Sony mine. Bilin. I don't know who that is, I'm sure. Okay. Any questions on what we've done so far? I have another 5 minutes. Sonny, are you friends with me on Facebook? You have the address, Sonny? Okay. There's a lot. I mean, just the drum pad. Everybody, you know, I don't play the drum pad. I perform on the drum set. Well, I'm not performing. I'm teaching. And there's nothing wrong with a drum pad. Keeps your hands together. You work things out. I mean, it'd be so nice if you can constantly play a snare drum because that's what you play on. But, you know, you have guys that live in apartments or you have other members of the family. You can't be just playing drums unless you have a totally soundproof room. Okay, any questions? Don't forget to do the stick control book. At least the first page in half strokes with the vamp like this. 2, 2. Repeat. 4. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Line 3. 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. We go to line 5. So on and so forth. What's this? Okay, you got it, right? So we'll see you tonight, and I'm going to close this up right now, unless there's any questions. And I enjoy this too, Sonny. I think it's a great place for drummers to discuss their different techniques, their different approaches, and it's the way of the future. It's unfortunate, if somebody, for you, for example, yourself, if I said, okay, I want to study with you, Sonny, and you live in Toronto and I live in New Jersey, United States, I can't make a weekly lesson. So, this is the way of the future. I do Skype lessons. Why must I stay on for another hour? I got other students I have to do in the studio, Dave. If I could, I would. Just if you want, give me a question. I'll answer it for you. I mean, I'm opening this site for just about an hour. It's 45 minutes now. But I have other appointments, like at 2:30. I have to do a couple lessons, and then I got to work tonight on the site. No, you're not. Dave, you don't want to bust my chops, man. You will lose. You will not know what's happening to you. All right. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Email me. I'll send you some PDFs for the remainder of the week's lessons, in case you don't have the books. Sonny, you have my email there, correct? And this platform is on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's at 1 p.m. Hey, you don't want to deal with me with that, please. I'm too old for that. No violence. You'd win. Now, if you want to become a target, that's a different story. I'm pretty good aim. Guy, you have a good afternoon as well. I hope I've helped somebody out here a little bit, and the interaction is great, man. It's where it's at. It's a conversation that continues. The questions are coming in, and email me there, Sonny. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be. We'll all help each other out, and we'll see everybody this evening at 8:30. Eastern Standard Time. All right, gentlemen. Have a great rest of the day and practice.